And we're looking at a breezy afternoon. Chilly temperatures when you head out the door. Wind chills are down into the 20s. I'll show you what it will feel as we get through the day.
Door knocked down. Yeah, Cary police using a battering ram to get inside an apartment. New information about the charges. The man who was inside is now in custody. Shot by Secret Service. A Moore County man is dead after authorities say he showed up at a Mar-a-Lago with a gun. What we're hearing from people who knew him best. WRAL News at 8 on Fox 50 starts in less than 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Good morning. Great to have you with us. I'm Ken Smith. Lots to get to in this half hour. Let's start with what you can expect when you open your door this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking it all for us.
And we see beautiful clear skies behind you, Ken, and we're seeing that everywhere. But it is windy to breezy. We have this, of course, nor'easter. That helped to bring us some rain yesterday and chilly temperatures. The cold air remains, and so does the wind. But the precipitation is headed off into the northeast, where they're seeing so much snow, anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of snow, blizzard conditions. And we'll get into that a little bit more coming up. But let's take a look at downtown Raleigh. And the trees and the flags here on Fayetteville Street are definitely being tossed around by the wind. We have a northeast wind right now at 14, and we're gusting at around 20 to 25. 31 is the temperature. So pretty significant wind chill. It feels like 21 in the Triangle, 22 in Rocky Mount and Wilson. Feels like 21 in Southern Pine. So it's a cold start out there this morning. Our temperature at lunchtime in the low 40s, and we'll only climb into the mid 40s this afternoon. We'll talk about wind chills through this afternoon. And when do we see a warm up coming up, Chris?
And new into the WRAL Traffic Center reports near Abbott's Creek Elementary on Durant Road of an overturned dump truck. This is down the road from the Jersey Mike's and the subway. There's a soccer complex down that way as well. So we're working to learn more about that, and we have a crew that's planning on heading to the scene within the next few minutes. In terms of any delay times coming into downtown Raleigh, it's a typical 10-minute delay out of Wake Forest, 8-minute delay out of Apex, just a 2-minute and a 3-minute delay if you're coming in from Durham or from Knightdale. Nothing making you late, however, coming in out of Garner. We'll give you a live look this morning. I-87 at Smithfield Road, and everything seems to be flowing pretty smoothly in both directions, hence the lack of delay time that's coming in from I-87. Meanwhile, I-85 at Duke Street, again, everything looks to be pretty good here at the peak hours of the morning commute. And if you're heading into Durham this morning, your delay times kept to a minimum, especially coming out of Chapel Hill. It's just a 2-minute delay so far on your Monday morning.
Thanks. So we're working to learn more information about a police investigation in Fayetteville. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker at an apartment complex on Bravery Lane. This was around 11 o'clock last night. We're still trying to figure out what police were investigating and if there are any arrests. Well, this morning we're working to learn more about the Moore County man whose Secret Service agents shot and killed at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Investigators identifying him as 21-year-old Austin Martin. Secret Service agents and a Palm Beach County deputy shot and killed Martin at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Investigators say Martin was carrying a shotgun and gas can when he entered the secure perimeter at Mar-a-Lago. Law enforcement says Martin was told to drop both, but they shot him when he raised his gun. The president was not at the resort when this all happened. WR's Kelsey Coffey following this story for us this morning, as people who knew Martin are shocked to find out what happened.
Today, we're hearing from people who live in Moore County who say they knew Austin Martin. Drone 5 captures video of the remote, heavily wooded property where Martin lived in Cameron. You can see several cars parked outside of what looks to be a large shed with a house a few yards behind. Cindy and Danny Carlisle live nearby. They were shocked to learn their neighbor was the suspect killed at Mar-a-Lago. The Moore County Sheriff's Office says family members reported Martin was missing. The Carlisles say a friend told them they saw Martin's mom report his disappearance the night before.
She had no idea where he was. And so, like I said, she was very upset, and she just made the comment that she had gotten a text from him, saying that I'm okay, I love you.
We're asking several questions right now, including what was Martin's motive and what did investigators find when they searched inside his home. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Our coverage continues on our WRAL YouTube channel. There you can find extended interviews and videos from the investigation underway currently in Moore County. Just search WRAL on YouTube. New this morning, a man is facing charges in Cary after a standoff with police at an apartment. It ended after police used a battering ram to gain entry. WRAL's Ali Cadlabar is live outside the Cary Police Department this morning. And Ali, the last hour we've learned much more about why police were at the apartment.
Yeah, new court documents have come out, Ken, and they show that this man is being accused of pointing a gun at officers. Take a look here. This is Aaron Wendell's mugshot. Cary police confirmed with us this morning that Wendell is facing multiple charges, including assaulting a police officer with a firearm. Court documents also show he's being charged with communicating threats out of Holly Springs and a domestic violence protection order violation out of Harnett County. Now, Cary police say they were serving an arrest warrant out of Holly Springs when Wendell was barricaded himself inside the apartment. And this is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker showing SWAT officers using a battering ram to get inside the apartment. This all started around 8:30 last night at an apartment complex on Wisdom Drive that's off Green Level Church Road. Cary police confirmed with us within the last hour that they took Wendell into custody around 1:30 this morning. Now, those court documents also show that Wendell will be in court this afternoon. WRAL will be following this story. Reporting live in Cary, Ali Cadlabar, WRAL News.
A major snowstorm hitting parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic this morning, and some areas experiencing blizzard-like conditions. Take a look at your screen right now. This is video from overnight in New York City as first responders try to help buses that are stuck in the snow. Blizzard warnings are in effect from Maryland to Massachusetts, and parts of the Northeast could get more than a foot of snow. Some areas could see up to 2 feet. Well, that winter weather hitting the Northeast, affecting a special event scheduled at tonight's UNC men's basketball game. R.J. Davis will not be in Chapel Hill for his jersey retirement ceremony at halftime of the Tar Heels game against Louisville. The team says Davis will be honored at a later date. Well, 2 people are recovering this morning after being shot in Glenwood South over the weekend. Authorities say the shooting happened yesterday morning on West North Street. Both people were taken to a local hospital. We're working to find out if anyone is charged in this investigation. Durham police, meantime, say a shooting sent a man to the hospital. This happened early yesterday morning on their home on Eastwood Drive. Police said the man's injuries are serious, but he is expected to recover. So far, no arrest in this case. Rescue workers found a feed mill worker dead more than 36 hours after an explosion at the facility. This happened at the Purdue feed mill in North Carolina town of Cofield over the weekend. This is about 2 hours northeast of Raleigh. Hertford County officials say 3 other employees were on site at the time of the explosion. 1 was seriously injured and airlifted to a hospital. The other 2 were treated for their injuries. First responders worked around the clock to recover the missing worker's body, navigating worsening weather conditions and dangers from the structure damage in the explosion.
This weighs on people emotionally and physically and mentally. And, I'd really like to take a second to just kind of shine a light on that our crews are working and we're working around the clock to find a resolution for this family.
Well, the cause of the explosion is still under investigation. Purdue's Cofield facility is closed until further notice. Purdue Agribusiness releasing a statement on social media, which reads in part, "This is an incredibly difficult moment for them and for many across our company, and we're providing support as they grieve this loss. We are grateful to first responders who acted quickly and professionally, and we are cooperating fully with local authorities." Well, time now to take a look at the closing ceremony of the 25th Winter Olympic Games in Milan Cortina. The historic Verona Arena in Cortina hosting the event. Women's hockey gold medalist Hillary Knight and gold medal and silver medalist figure skater Evan Bates were the flag bearers for Team USA. The Olympic flag was handed over to the next host station, France. That's where the 2030 Winter Games will be held in the French Alps and other venues. Happening today, the brand new Wake County Public Health Center will officially open. The new facility is on Swinburne Street in Raleigh. That's a little more than a mile away from its current old location, I should say. The facility features expanded space and new amenities. Vaccinations, health screenings, and other public programs will also resume today. Time now 8:11. Nick Reiner in court. What we expect today as he goes before a judge accused of murdering his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. And shutdown impacts. TSA PreCheck is back up after Homeland Security planned to pause it because of a partial government shutdown. How travelers are reacting.
And it's a blustery start this morning. The winds will continue on and off during the day today, making it feel colder than it really is. I'll walk you through the Futurecast look at what it will feel like coming up. 8:13 after a cold, wet Sunday. It's nice to see all this beautiful sunshine. But, you know, it was a bit breezy yesterday evening, and the wind continues here on the lawn of the town hall in Zebulon. You can see the flags waving around pretty quickly. Our wind is gusting up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. But this is a look at the wind chill. It feels like 21 in Roxborough, Durham, and Raleigh. It feels like 22 in Fayetteville, 22 in Rocky Mount, and 21 in Southern Pine. So no matter where you are, it's feeling like low to mid 20s. So definitely want to bundle up if you're about to head out the door to walk the dog. And it stays chilly today. Highs are only in the mid 40s. Tomorrow we'll see the same thing, but then we begin a warm up midweek. I'll show you what changes with our pattern coming up. Chris?
And heads up if you're in Garner heading toward White Oak. Check this out. This is on US 70 there. Box truck into the guardrail. Everything completely stopped as you're heading toward White Oak. You've got a number of folks who are using the U-turn lanes there, and even the other lanes are blocked by emergency personnel. We're going to work to find out what's going on here, if there's any way to get around that as well. Plus, we'll take a look at some of your other delay times across the area. That's coming up in your full traffic report in just about 5 minutes.
And breaking here in the WRAL Live Center, we sent Sky 5 to Wilson to check out a tip on Highway 587 in Wilson. And here's what we're seeing from Sky 5 as it zooms in. There appears to be a black Chevy Avalanche that has wound up in the median there. State troopers are there on the scene. It appears as traffic on this stretch of Highway 587 in Wilson County is moving along fine in both directions. We are making calls and working to find out exactly what the situation here is and why there's such a law enforcement presence on the scene. Once we find out more answers, we'll update you here in this newscast.
Many thanks. Well, the Trump administration increasing global U.S. tariffs to 15% over the weekend, bumping up the 10% announced Friday. The increases came after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that the administration exceeded its authority on trading powers. The president posted on Truth Social after the ruling, 15% is, quote, fully approved and legally tested. Current trade laws do allow that limit, but it's temporary and requires congressional approval to extend past 150 days. Happening today, Nick Reiner is expected to appear in court in the murder of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. Reiner is still not entering a plea whatsoever. There have been delays after his first lawyer withdrew from the case last month. Reiner has since been assigned a public defender. He's expected to plead not guilty. If convicted of first-degree murder, Nick Reiner could face life without parole. Prosecutors have not decided whether to seek the death penalty. A murder suspect is in custody in Rocky Mount. The Halifax County Sheriff's Office arrested Gregory Harper after deputies pulled him over for a traffic stop over the weekend. The Sheriff's Office says Harper was wanted for the murder of Andre West in Rocky Mount. West was killed last month. Harper is being charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bond. He's expected to appear in court tomorrow. Police in Arizona are entering a new week in the search for Nancy Guthrie. It's been more than 3 weeks since the mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie was reported missing. Police have been pursuing several leads in that time, including doorbell video from the night of her disappearance and unknown DNA found inside the home. In an interview with NBC News Sunday, the Pima County Sheriff says authorities are getting closer to identifying the other articles of clothing seen in that doorbell camera, including the shoes, pants and shirt and jacket. There's a reward of more than $200,000 for a reward. Downtown Cary Park receiving one of the nation's highest design honors. The park earned a 2025 American Architecture Awards recognition for excellence in architecture and urban design. There were 1,500 submissions nationwide, and the park is one of only 5 honored for its unified design approach, commitment to sustainability, and measurable community impact. Make elevators great again. That was the pitch Republican Luke Farley made to North Carolina voters when he was running for state labor commissioner back in 2024. And in the first year in his office, he seems to have delivered on that promise. As recently as 2023, nearly 5,000 elevators in North Carolina were out of date for their safety inspections. Well, people got stuck, some got injured. WRAL investigators dug into the problem at the time. A year after taking office, Farley tells WRAL he's eliminated the inspection backlog. You can watch that entire interview on WRAL's YouTube page. I'm going to give you a live look now at RDU International this morning. That's where the TSA's pre-check program will be operational again. Homeland Security walked back its decision to suspend the program because of the partial government shutdown. The original announcement created confusion for travelers. A spokesperson says the TSA will instead, quote, evaluate on a case-by-case basis and adjust operations. The news came as a relief to many travelers at RDU International.
When the government shut down a couple of months ago, when so many TSA workers stayed working even though they weren't getting paid, I had such an appreciation for that and thanked all of the workers for coming in every single day because it makes a huge difference to travelers.
The suspension of TSA pre-check lanes at U.S. airports will have required enrolled travelers to use standard security screening. Well, speaking of travel, I want to bring in meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner now. And boy, that is a monster of a storm in the Northeast.
It really is. Blizzard conditions, winds gusting 50, 55 miles per hour, 1 to 2 feet of snow. Incredible. So it is a doozy, biggest one that we've seen so far this season. And, it's coming, late February into early March, which is not that unusual. Sometimes we can get our biggest storms as we're making that transition sort of to spring. And this is a look, of course, from way up top of the Statue of Liberty, and you can see all that snow that's down sort of around the island that the statue sits on, and you can see the snow blowing off the island sort of over the water there. And yeah, it is it's just a mess out there. And of course, that means the potential for travel problems, not just in the Northeast, but we have that trickle down effect. If your plane is stuck there, it's not going to get here. And there have been a lot of cancellations. I think at least 100 cancellations or delays at RDU so far out of the system. We've seen lots of heavy snow starting last night, spreading all the way up to Maine, anywhere from a foot to almost 2 feet in some places already. It does look like it will end tonight, just very slowly going to pull up the East Coast and move on out. We're actually seeing some snow in the mountains of North Carolina out of the system as well. But blizzard conditions all the way from Delaware, all the way up to, say, Maine, and just right along the coast there with snow totals up to 2 feet, visibility down to a quarter of a mile or less. I know earlier they had put a travel ban in for New York City until noon, just because there was, you couldn't see where you were going. For us, it's a whole different scenario, windy and cold, but obviously we're seeing some sunshine. We're going to see that continuing Tuesday. Same story, just below normal temperatures with some breezy conditions. But high pressure building in that's bringing us the sunshine slides eastward Wednesday and switches our wind to southwesterly. So Wednesday will feel more comfortable. And then Thursday into Friday, we'll be tracking another front. We'll take a close look at that in just a little while and talk about when we could see some of those showers and thunderstorms. Actually, we'll do it right now. That low pressure system, the nor'easter, pulls away from us. And then by Wednesday, we're into a southwesterly flow. And then we'll see a cold front we'll see a warm front that stalls over us. And then cold front kind of swings through and helps to push through some of this rain. This is Thursday at 8 p.m. So it's likely to be during the day Thursday and then again Friday as that front moves slowly across our area. We'll talk more about how much rain we could see as it gets a little closer. This is a live look at Zebulon right now. The flag's out there in front of the town hall, waving in the wind. We have a northwest wind at 14, but we've been gusting up to 20, 25 this morning. It's only 31 degrees, so definitely feeling like winter. We'll hit 62 Wednesday, and once that system moves out on Friday, instead of seeing cooler temperatures, a nice warm up for the weekend. Chris?
Elizabeth, breaking into the WRAL traffic center. If you're coming toward Raleigh and Garner from Clayton, listen up. This is US 70 heading toward White Oak. You can see this box truck that ran into the guardrail. Traffic is at a complete standstill heading toward White Oak from Clayton. And it's unclear if there's another car beneath that box truck, but you've got emergency crews and a lot of folks on scene there. Even as you're heading toward Clayton, there's that left lane that's closed and folks really trying to get around that. Here's how you can get around that if you've yet to leave from Clayton. I would definitely try and connect to 42 and then get on to 40 instead of taking 70, because that's a big backup. And again, there's no sign of that clearing anytime soon. It does appear to be a pretty serious crash. Another crash that's near Abbott's Creek Elementary, a report of an overturned dump truck. We do see some residual backups there on Capitol Boulevard in both directions. Right now, it's only a 7-minute delay coming in to Raleigh from Wake Forest. Minimal delays outside of that, but we'll keep tabs on that serious crash there on US 70. Updates to come throughout the morning on 101.5 HD3.
Yeah, Chris, that's quite a mess there. Well, lots more to share with you now. Home buyers beware. 5-year sign has what buyers of brand new homes need to check before they sign on the dotted line. If you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video and pictures, just report it to us at reportit/.com.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning at 8:26. I'm Ken Smith. We want to start with a traffic alert and check in with Chris Michaels. That's quite a mess there.
Yeah, it's a parking lot on US 70. This is heading toward Garner from Clayton, and we saw some crews there with a leaf blower and trying to get some of the mess off the road, but it is at a complete standstill. This box truck that crashed into the guardrail, it's unclear if there's another car that's pinned beneath that, but we're working to learn more information on this for you guys, and once we have that, we'll let you know over on Fox 50, and while you're on the go on the radio, that's 101.5 HD3.
It's a chilly start this morning. We take a live look at North Hills with blue skies, but our winds have been gusty up to 20-25 miles per hour. So wind chill is an issue for us. Our temperatures are right near freezing, but it feels like 21 in the Triangle and in Southern Pines. It feels like 24 in Clinton and 26 in South Hill right now. So walking the dog this morning definitely feels cold. Our temperature at lunchtime just 42, and we'll see highs in the mid-40s for this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Ken?
Elizabeth, thanks. This morning, a man is facing several charges after a standoff with police in Cary. This happened last night just off Green Level Church Road, an apartment. Police were there serving a warrant for out of Holly Springs. Police say Aaron Windell was arrested and taken into custody after breaching the apartment. We're also trying to learn more about a police investigation in Fayetteville. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker at an apartment complex on Bravery Lane. This was around 11 o'clock last night. We're still trying to figure out what police were investigating and if anyone was arrested. Next on Fox 50, a Moore County man dead after law enforcement says he showed up at Mar-a-Lago in Florida with a gun. And coming up on Today, Team USA wins its first gold medal in men's hockey since 1980.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news this morning takes us to Garner near White Oak, where all lanes are closed heading toward the shopping center because of this crash. We'll get the latest on that and new footage from a separate crash on Durant Road. Our breaking news tracker just arrived on scene.
And more breaking news out of Wilson. There is a large law enforcement presence on a stretch of I-587. We'll show you video from Sky 5.
Barricade situation arrest. A Cary man facing charges this morning after police used a battering ram to gain entry to that apartment. But we're learning about that suspect this morning.
And it's a cold and windy start to the day. I'll show you why that will last a couple of days before the warm air returns.
Good morning. Glad you're with us. We always appreciate your time here on Fox 50. I'm Ken Smith. So let's start with the forecast. Check in with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking a chilly morning.
Yes, and it was a chilly, wet day yesterday, thanks to the low pressure system that continues to move away from us. But of course, it's causing major issues for the Northeast. This is a big nor'easter producing as much as 1 to 2 feet of snow and blizzard conditions up and down the East Coast from just north of Virginia all the way up to Maine. We're seeing some snow falling in the mountains of North Carolina. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes. But check out our cameras all across the area. It looks just like this in Pittsburgh. We're looking at mainly clear skies. Our temperatures are right near freezing, and it's windy. We have a northwest wind at 14 miles per hour, and we're gusting at around 20 to 25. So this is what it feels like with the wind chill in the white box on the right. Feels like 21 in Raleigh and Southern Pines, 24 in Clinton, 22 in Roxborough, as well as Rocky Mount. So it's a cold start out there. Our temperatures stay chilly all day. We'll keep it in the mid-40s, which is at least 10 degrees below normal. I'll show you why that continues a few days before it begins to warm up. Chris?
And Elizabeth, we take you to breaking news out of Garner here. This is US 70 near White Oak, and you can see everything at a complete standstill as you're coming in from Clayton. I saw an ambulance pull away, a number of law enforcement and fire personnel as you see that box truck that's just into the guardrail. It's unclear if there's another car beneath that, but we're working to find out more information. Even as you're heading toward Clayton away from White Oak, there's one lane that's shut down. There's another crash on Durant Road near Abbott's Creek Elementary, and our breaking news tracker just arrived on scene. It looks like the towing truck just arrived on scene involving a blue minivan crashed into this dump truck, and you can see that dump truck is overturned. So thanks to WRAL's Michael Joyner for getting on that scene and providing us with that fresh view here early this morning. Elsewhere in the Triangle, if you're heading into downtown Raleigh, all the main routes don't have any major delays, but US 70 an absolute mess. We did have Sky 5 in Wilson, but had to get out of there because of the high winds. But Renee's got more on that investigation in the Live Center this morning.
All right, we appreciate that, Chris. In the last 90 minutes, we've learned more about the Cary police arresting a man after a standoff at an apartment. This happened last night on Wisdom Drive of Green Level Church Road. Officers used a battering ram to gain entry to that apartment. Let's bring in WRAL's Ali Katlabar. She's been covering this story for us all morning long. You're live outside the Cary Police Department, Ali, and court documents show the man is facing several charges this morning.
Yeah, and those court documents also accusing this man of pointing a gun at officers. This is Aaron Wendell. This is his mugshot. Cary police confirmed with us this morning that Wendell is facing several charges, including assaulting a police officer with a firearm. Court documents also show he's being charged with communicating threats. That's the charge out of Holly Springs. Also, a domestic violence protection order violation out of Harnett County. Cary police say they were serving an arrest warrant out of Holly Springs when Wendell barricaded himself inside the apartment. This video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows SWAT officers using a battering ram to get inside the apartment. This started around 8:30 last night at an apartment complex off Wisdom Drive, that's off Green Level Church Road. And Cary police say they took Wendell into custody around 1:30 this morning. He's expected to be in court this afternoon, and WRAL will be following this story throughout the day. Reporting live in Cary, Ali Katlabar, WRAL News.
We're working to learn more about the Moore County man shot and killed at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. The president was not at the estate when this all happened. Investigators identifying the suspect as 21-year-old Austin Martin. Secret Service agents and a deputy from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Florida, shot and killed Martin early yesterday morning. Investigators say he was carrying a shotgun and a gas can when he entered the secure perimeter at Mar-a-Lago. That's when the deputy and agents approached him. Law enforcement says he was told to drop both, but he raised his gun. That's when agents shot him. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is following this story for us this morning. She's reporting on people who knew Martin. Well, they're shocked to find out what happened.
Today, we're hearing from people who live in Moore County who say they knew Austin Martin. Drone 5 captures video of the remote, heavily wooded property where Martin lived in Cameron. You can see several cars parked outside of what looks to be a large shed with the house a few yards behind. Cindy and Danny Carlisle live nearby. They were shocked to learn their neighbor was the suspect killed at Mar-a-Lago. The Moore County Sheriff's Office says family members reported Martin was missing. The Carlisles say a friend told them they saw Martin's mom report his disappearance the night before.
She had no idea where he was. And so, like I said, she was very upset, and she just made the comment that she had gotten a text from him, saying that I'm okay, I love you.
We're asking several questions right now, including what was Martin's motive and what did investigators find when they searched inside his home. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Well, this makes 2 assassination attempts against President Trump since he took office, including one involving another North Carolina man at one of his Florida properties. Greensboro native Ryan Ruth was caught with a rifle at Trump's West Palm Beach golf course back in September of 2024. Ruth pointed his gun through a fence line around 400 feet away from where President Trump was playing golf. A Secret Service agent noticed and fired at Ruth. Ruth ran away but was later captured. He was convicted of trying to assassinate President Trump and was recently sentenced to life in prison. 2 months earlier, a man shot at President Trump during a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Thomas Crooks fired 8 shots from a nearby rooftop. A bullet grazed the president's right ear. Secret Service agents shot and killed Crooks. You can find more of our coverage on this shooting at Mar-a-Lago on our WRAL YouTube channel. You'll see extended interviews and videos from the investigation in Moore County. To search WRAL on YouTube. Now be sure to watch our WRAL evening newscasts for any updates we learn throughout the day. Our first evening newscast starts at 4 p.m.
And breaking news here in the WRAL Live Center. State troopers have surrounded a black pickup truck on a stretch of I-587 in Wilson. Sky 5 flew over that situation just moments ago. Take a look. This happened in the westbound lanes of I-587, not far from the Downing Street exit. You can see that Chevy Avalanche there. It appears it veered off the interstate, ended up in the median. We counted 8 law enforcement cars there at the scene. Traffic in either direction of 587 on that stretch still getting by. No lanes closed because of this. We are working to find out what troopers are investigating, why they're so focused on that black pickup truck, and if anyone was hurt.
And Renee, we're trying to learn more about a police investigation in Fayetteville. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker at an apartment complex on Bravery Lane. This was around 11 o'clock last night. We're still trying to figure out what police were investigating and if any arrests are made in this case so far. Right now, a powerful winter storm pounding the northeast. Boy, this is a satellite look at that storm. As you can see, it's covering so much of the area. While heavy winds and gusty winds are creating dangerous conditions across the tri-state area. New York City already seeing almost a foot of snow. A travel ban is in effect there until noon today. Rhode Island and Connecticut have also put travel restrictions in place. Thousands of flights have been canceled nationwide. Parts of the Northeast and New England could see up to 2 feet of snow when it's all said and done. Bring it back home and give you a live look at RD International this morning. If you're flying out, you want to check with your airlines before heading to the airport. Right now, there are more than 110 cancellations and 9 delays. That's according to FlightAware at RDU. Many of them to and from airports in New York, Philadelphia, Boston, who are experiencing blizzard-like conditions. Well, today, Durham Public Schools inviting you to give your input on the district's budget. They're hosting a budget town hall this evening. This is from families, staff, and any community members. The district will give an overview of its budget priorities and financial outlook. You'll be able to ask questions and share feedback. District leaders say this town hall plays an important role in helping to align resources with student needs, staff support, and long-term district goals. Tonight's town hall is at Mini Fort Brown Staff Development Center. It begins at 6 this evening and will run until about 8 o'clock. The Winter Olympic Games have come to a close in Milan Cortina. The closing ceremony happening at the Verona Arena yesterday. The arena is an ancient Roman amphitheater originally built nearly 2,000 years ago. Women's hockey gold medalist Hillary Knight and gold and silver medalist figure skater Evan Bates were the flag bearers for Team USA. The Olympic flag was handed over to the next host nation, France. The 2030 Winter Games will be held in the French Alps and other venues around France. One of the biggest storylines from the games, men's hockey. Team USA is bringing home the gold for the first time in nearly a half a century. Jack Hughes' overtime goal against Canada gave the United States its first Olympic gold medal in sports since the 1980 Miracle on Ice. Those of us at a certain age remember that. It was also the 46th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. Hughes scored early in the 3-on-3 overtime to clinch the 2-1 victory. What a moment. We're taking a look at the final medal count. Norway takes home 41 medals, 18 of which are gold. The U.S. came in second with 33 medals. The host nation, Italy, coming in third with 30 medals. Germany and Japan rounding out the top 5 with 26, 24 medals, respectively. Well, time now, 8:41. Home buyers beware. Buying a brand new home may feel like a safe bet, but that's not always the case. 5 on your side sharing what buyers need to check before they sign on the dotted line. And the same storm system bringing blizzard-like conditions to the northeast, keeping us windy and breezy and cold today. This is a live look at downtown Durham. Ahead, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner showing us when the wind lets up and when a spring-like feel returns to us here in the Triangle.
.44 after yesterday's rain, the skies have cleared and it looks beautiful, but the cold air is still in place and it's still breezy too. We take a look across our area. This is a look at the wind chill. It's in the white box on the right. So it feels like 25 in Clinton, 26 in Roxborough, 21 in Southern Pines, Raleigh, and Durham. So really, feeling like January, early February, when we had that cold snap, that's what it feels like today. So pretty uncomfortable to exercise outside. You may want to take it inside, especially this morning. At lunchtime, just 42, and we'll only climb into the mid 40s this afternoon. It does remain breezy and chilly for one more day, but I'll show you what changes to bring some warmth back. Coming up, Chris.
And Elizabeth, our breaking news in the WRAL traffic center is this crash that has US 70 shut down near White Oak. This is the view we've been showing you, tow truck on scene. Let's give you a look from the sky here with Sky 5. They just got on scene, and you can see that box truck there that crashed into the guardrail. Again, it is unclear if there's a truck or a car submerged beneath that, but yeah, definitely a lot of personnel on scene, and our thanks to Sky 5 for being so quick to get on that. We also have Michael Joyner, one of our photographers, on scene of a separate crash. This is on Durant Road that you can see the cleanup there. This had a blue minivan involved in it, and obviously the overturned dump truck that you see there on scene. Crews working to clean that up. This is near Abbott's Creek Elementary, so it looks like it's going to take quite some time before that scene clears. We're going to keep on top of both of those with an update around 8:55 on WRAL, and then a more complete update here on Fox 50 during the 9 o'clock newscast.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, new construction homes are booming all across the Triangle. A report from Realtor.com ranking the Raleigh area as one of the top metro areas in the country for new home construction. But 5 on your side's Keely Arthur explains new doesn't always mean perfect.
Spring is home buying season, and buying a new build may seem like the safest option, but many homeowners report finding issues after they move in. So what do you need to look for?
Start with the bones of the home. Look for cracks in roof trusses, check framing and support beams, and inspect the foundation or crawl space for moisture or mold. Next, check the systems that keep the home running, including HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and insulation. If you can, tour the home before drywall goes up. It's your only chance to see inside the walls, how ductwork, plumbing, and wiring are installed. Finally, hire an inspector who can find crushed ducts, small leaks, or wiring issues even in new builds.
But mistakes happen, and it's so important to hire a private home inspector because although every new home does have to pass local government inspections, that is a city or county employee that is overworked and underappreciated, and hiring a home inspector is someone that you're paying to come out here for hours at a time.
If an issue is found, talk to the builder and get it fixed before you buy.
There is so much more to cover on this topic to make sure you're an empowered buyer. So coming up tonight at 6 p.m., I'm going to run through many more specifics and tell you what you should do if you find problems after you buy. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Well, this week you can learn how to save life and maybe set a record. Duke University School of Medicine is leading the attempt to train the most people in hands-only CPR in one day on Wednesday. The goal is to train at least 30,000 people across 30 counties. That includes Cumberland, Franklin, Nash, Orange, and Person counties.
Every minute that somebody doesn't receive CPR in defibrillation from an AED, a shock box, their chances of survival decrease by 10% every minute. So if you do the math and think about how long it takes EMS to arrive on the scene, which is about 7 to 9 minutes, it just shows how incredibly important it is for bystanders to act quickly and perform hands-only CPR.
Well, keep this in mind. Wednesday's training is free and only takes a few minutes of your time. Now, to find out a training location near you, go to racecarstrial.org. The Oscars are just a few weeks away, and one film is looking more like a favorite. David Daniel has this and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Steve Lockjaw just attacked my home, and I cannot remember for the life of my only child the answer to your question.
One battle after another has dominated another award show, this time the British Academy's BAFTAs. The darkly comic action epic won 6 awards, including Best Film and Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson.
Tony Glass, you're a spy. Nothing gets past the feds, does it? Come on, we got work to do.
CIA stars Tom Ellis as an operative who reluctantly teams with an FBI agent played by Nick Gelfus. Ellis says one thing that drew him to the show was filming in New York.
Shooting out in the street in New York is a real experience, and one that I've never experienced before in my career. In that, normally when you're shooting outside, the area that you're shooting is locked off and that it's not open to the public. We don't really have that luxury in New York because nobody stops for anything. So, there are scenes in the show where, Nick and I are weaving our way through public and traffic and people taking selfies, and it's all real, essentially.
CIA debuts today on CBS and Paramount Plus. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, Broadway went dark last night as the powerful winter storm moved into the tri-state area. All evening performances with curtain times at 6 p.m. or later were canceled due to safety concerns on the roads. A travel ban in place in the city until noon could affect shows scheduled for today, mostly the matinee shows, actually. Forecasters are predicting 1 to 2 feet of snowfall in the New York City area and all up and down the northeast. And that monster storm, we're feeling the effects of it here at home.
We are. None of that snow. It's nice and sunny out there right now, but it's the wind. They're seeing winds gusting to our north, up to 50 miles per hour. We're seeing winds really gusty up in the mountains as well. This is a look at Times Square. And of course, it's interesting because you can see a lot of the billboards all lit up, and they're not out of power, but it seems so dark around the rest of the area. But they're doing their very best to remove that snow. They've got bulldozers out. It looks like they've done a pretty good job of clearing the streets, and now they're trying to clear the square itself. So man-made snow shovel pushing and some machines to help out there as well. This is a huge storm system. You can see on the satellite picture the rotation, counterclockwise rotation of this low pressure system, which is a nor'easter. It pulled away from us, so we're now looking clear, but we're seeing some windy conditions because of the difference in pressure between a low and a high that's back to the west. Lots and lots of snow. It started to taper off a little bit down here around, say, D.C. and parts of Maryland, but it continues up north and is starting to increase in, say, the Boston area and on up to Maine. So at least an additional maybe 8 to 12 inches of snow as that continues to push northward. In some places, Chris Michaels has some family in Connecticut, and they said it feels like a hurricane with snow, and they've lost power. So it's a real mess for folks. This is a look at our forecast snow through the rest of the day today. And even in the mountains of North Carolina, we're seeing snow. Take a look at Boone. I mean, it is coming down there. The temperatures are in the teens right now, and they've had some gusts up to 35 or 40 miles per hour. So it's a real mess out there. They're usually pretty good about keeping the roads plowed, but you can see just how heavily that snow is coming down. For us, we're clear, but we're just looking at windy conditions. Gusts 25 to 35 today and tomorrow, and that cold air stays locked in place through tomorrow. And then after that, we start to warm things back up. We're looking at a wind chill of 18 in Southern Pines and 19 in South Hill, 17 in Roxborough. This is a look at our wind gusts. We're gusting to 25 in Raleigh, gusting to 19 in South Hill, 18 in Goldsboro. And the wind chill is definitely feeling like the 20s right now. It'll feel like 39 this afternoon. So really cold out there for us today. In Pittsburgh, we're seeing plenty of sunshine. It is 31 degrees with a northwest wind at 14 in the Triangle. And everybody's still at or below freezing here across the Triangle area. We'll see a high this afternoon only in the mid to upper 40s, so it's cold. Tomorrow's cold too. We're going to start with the mid 20s. But after that, we climb into the 60s, and we're looking at a chance of rain by the end of the work week. We'll be right back.
It's reopening.